Hello, and glad you can join us. Here's what's going on. Explosive wildfires create emergencies on both coasts. Unsettling, unnerving, and then there's the unbearable heat.
That was all of the money I've saved my entire life, and it's just gone.
What you need to know about a scam that could target you.
I usually like to try driving away from these urban locations with a lot of light pollution, try to find a nice dark location somewhere.
Plus, the annual cosmic show in the eastern sky.
CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo.
It's a scorcher out there in 7 provinces. The red parts in the map indicating temperatures above 30 degrees Celsius. The hot, dry conditions are driving a record-breaking wildfire season with 700 fires burning, many wildly out of control. Both coasts are hit hard. The most urgent, Newfoundland, where an evacuation order has been issued near St. John's, and several other areas are on high alert. There's also new fires breaking out like this one in the Bayers Lake area of Halifax, where an emergency alert was sent out and businesses have been evacuated. There's a lot to unpack, so let's start first in Newfoundland, where CTV's Garrett Barry is monitoring the situation from St. John's. Okay, Garrett, how's it going?
Sandy, some homeowners near the Paddy's Pond fire have been ordered out of their homes, and thousands more are being told today they have to be ready to leave at a moment's notice.
You don't get any sleep, obviously. You might doze off. But there's like in the morning, okay, at least you can see the wind hasn't changed, you know, so it's very anxious.
As water bombers circle above this fire at the doorstep of St. John's, nearby residents are packing everything they can fit.
I have 2 kids, so we're taking sentimental stuff belonging to them because we don't know where our house is going to be gone, and we need to make sure they still have some of their childhood with them.
The outbreak of flames here yesterday brought an urgent call from a local trucking company for any qualified drivers to help move vehicles out of the line of fire.
People started showing up from everywhere. Phones were, ringing off the hook, our cell phones. People were sending Facebook messages, etc. How could they help?
Meanwhile, other fires across the province are keeping firefighters busy. Yet another started this afternoon in the Spaniards Bay area, and flames forced the closure of the only highway connecting the south coast of the province. Officials are preparing to bring in more aerial resources from the United States at a significant cost.
The situation we face today is completely different than any situation that we've faced in years.
With so much of this province under wildfire threat, officials are having to make decisions about what air assets go where and when. Premier John Hogan spent a lot of time today telling the province that those decisions are made by experts and are not based on anyone's personal preference. Sandy.
Okay, Garrett, thank you. All right, now evacuations are underway in the Bayers Lake area of Halifax, where a wildfire is burning. CTV's Bruce Frisco is there for us now. And Bruce, set the scene. What's happening? Just how bad is it?
Well, overall, in terms of size, Sandy, it's really not that big. It's 6 hectares, which compared to, of course, many of the fires burning across the country right now is not very much. The problem is Nova Scotia, as you indicated, is tinder dry. We have not had significant rain in a couple of months now, which is really unheard of for this part of the country. There's a water bomber going overhead right now. And that sort of indicates what we're dealing with. If you're familiar with Bayers Lake, the fire is burning behind the Kent hardware store here, the west side of the park. It's believed it broke out sometime around 3 p.m. We're not sure how, but at this point, getting it under control is the priority. At last report, 30 HRM fire crews on scene, along with 8 DNR crews, helicopters, and water bombers, including more water bombers coming from New Brunswick. Sandy, it is going to be likely a long night here and really a worst-case scenario that has come true for a great many Nova Scotians tonight.
Amazing to watch that water bomber. Okay, Bruce, thank you. Fire is also moving ever closer to major communities in New Brunswick. 2 near Miramichi and Irishtown are listed as growing and out of control. As we heard Bruce say, New Brunswick is usually the one to offer help. Well, now the shoe is on the other foot. CTV's Sarah Plowman with the warning to residents to get ready to go. Sarah.
Sandy, it is scorching hot outside. When you stand in the sun, it feels as if you're in a sauna. And this province's largest wildfire, known as the Oldfield Road wildfire, that's burning in a wooded area behind me, which is why this road is closed. That fire is now 1,100 hectares, about triple the size as it was yesterday. It is one of 2 fires in this province currently burning out of control. The other one is in Irish Town near Moncton, where people have been told prepare to evacuate, but so far they haven't been told that they have to. Additional resources have been brought here to help. Firefighters from Nova Scotia, PEI in Maine, along with more air support. This fire near Miramichi has been burning since Wednesday. Yesterday, officials said they've been unable to get in front of the fire, but they do have the capacity to help steer it away from people. Still, some fear it has burned their land. Today, I met a man who owns a shooting range in 400 acres near where this fire is burning. He says he's looked at aerial maps online, which do suggest the fire has reached his property. We've been unable to confirm this.
So I'm waiting to get news from the rangers that just went in there a few hours ago. I've got about 8 kilometers of roads and trails, and they were asking me if they could use those trails to drive in and get a better view from the ground where the fire is.
New Brunswick has already banned people from going into the woods on Crown land, and today they're asking people to conserve water, noting that the surface and ground water levels are lower than normal throughout the province.
Okay.
Sandy.
Sarah, thank you. Now, it's not just the East Coast, but the West Coast fighting the flames. A growing wildfire on Vancouver Island has forced new evacuations near Port Alberni. CTV's BC Bureau Chief Andrew Johnson is tracking this one for us. Okay, Andrew.
Sandy, the Mount Underwood fire was just discovered yesterday and has quickly exploded to close to 9 square kilometers, leading to rural property and campground evacuations, cutting off roads and power.
Our road is unpassable.
It's an eerie and dangerous site on central Vancouver Island. This road is now closed. It connects a small village and a First Nations community to the larger city of Port Alberni. Hundreds of people in that area also don't have power, and that's expected to be out for 72 hours.
I'm hoping they can do something about this. I don't know how long we're going to be like this.
A nearby campground and marina has been evacuated, where people got a too close for comfort view of the burning hillside. This is all happening only 19 kilometers from the Wesley Ridge fire. That led to hundreds of evacuations last week. The final evacuees just got the all clear to return home yesterday. A stressful summer for thousands.
I'm getting a mixture of anxiety and courage from the communities, getting people who are resolving to help the people around them, and that is the foundation of a strong community.
The weather won't be helping, at least in the short term. The forecast high in Port Alberni today, 37 degrees and 30 tomorrow. And then it's expected to cool off with rain possible on Friday. There will be a lot of people crossing their fingers. Sandy.
That is hot. Andrew Johnson, thank you. As for the ongoing grass fires in Ontario cottage country, firefighters are dealing with hot, dry conditions there too, and little rainfall, making the situation worse. Farms are moving animals to safety away from an out-of-control fire near the Kawartha Lakes region. Several municipalities also in the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area have also issued burn bans until further notice. Now, the heat blanketing much of the country is also responsible for low water levels in lakes and rivers. In fact, a cargo ship is stuck in the St. Lawrence near Montreal, not moving and blocking some traffic from coming and going. CTV's Quebec Bureau Chief Geneviève Beauchemin went to check it out. Okay, Jen, what's happening?
Yes, Andy, that's the federal Yamaska here. It ran aground here downstream from Montreal early this morning, complicating traffic along this crucial waterway that is the St. Lawrence. Now, it's already under surveillance because of the low water levels here. Look at this beach, so much sand. That's not normally how it is here. That's a situation that could end up being costly to consumers down the road. The cargo ship, though, seems to have lost engine power. That's what caused it to run aground, just at the edge of the seaway. The Coast Guard is on hand to assist. Here's what Superintendent Francis Lapointe had to say about the operation.
We are in constant communication with the vessel and the ship company to see what will be the plan, and based on assessment and the result of their analysis, and we'll see what will be the refloating plan. So at this stage, it's too early to know if that will take 1 day or more.
Ships can still pass this point, which is narrow, but they've been ordered to slow down. That's in addition to some that are already facing weight restrictions. That's because of the water level on this majestic waterway. It's crucial to the Canadian economy. Around 37 metric tons of cargo travel these waters each year. Ships have less water to navigate in now because water levels in lakes and rivers that feed into the St. Lawrence, like Lake Ontario, are low. The conditions, too, are very dry. There's been no significant rainfall here for over a month. These low water levels are also causing problems with crops, drinking water supplies, hydroelectric power production. All that can end up being very costly to the economy. Sandy.
Genevieve, thank you. For a while this morning, WestJet flights at several Canadian airports were delayed by a system outage. Network-wide technical issues led to customers around the globe experiencing issues with airports in Ottawa, Toronto, Saskatoon, Montreal, and Calgary, all reporting delays. The ground stop has since been lifted. And Air Canada flight attendants could issue a strike notice as early as midnight tonight and could walk off the job as early as Saturday. The union, representing around 10,000 flight attendants, declined a proposal from the airline to enter a binding arbitration process. Air Canada says negotiations have reached an impasse. Well, we now have a clearer picture of Ottawa's timeline to start greenlighting new nation-building projects. The federal energy minister suggested to Vashi Kapelas on her iHeart radio show that liquefied natural gas, or LNG, will be a significant piece of the Prime Minister's plans to turn Canada into an energy superpower. CTV's Rachel Aiello now on what we learned today and what it means to you, the consumer. Rachel.
Sandy, Tim Hodgson said today that Canadians will start seeing new nation-building projects approved in the early fall and left the door open to LNG projects being among them.
I know there are buyers.
Canada's energy minister made it clear today that with multiple projects in the works and a global demand for cleaner energy, there's a market for Canadian liquefied natural gas that may help make the case for facilities to be fast-tracked through the new national projects process.
What I can tell you from the conversations that the Prime Minister has been having, the Minister of Foreign Affairs has been having, the Minister of International Trade has been having, the conversations I've been having, our allies are very interested in Canadian LNG.
A comment the natural resources sector welcomed.
More customers, more shipments, more LNG export facilities means more jobs for Canadians.
The minister said that as soon as the private sector, provincial governments, and Indigenous groups put forward projects, the federal government will start deciding which ones are in the national interest.
I would expect you would see a rolling set of announcements over the fall as different projects mature and meet the criteria.
While stating the government remains committed to its climate objectives, the minister wouldn't rule out easing federal emissions targets to move these projects forward.
So the LNG emissions math is inescapable. So these projects in Canada result in significant increase in emissions. Like one project is equal to about 1 million cars.
Minister Hodgson said he's focused on results and not how we get there, indicating the powers cabinet now has through Bill C-5 allows him to deal with any issues that arise. Sandy?
CTV's Rachel Aiello. Thanks, Rachel. Okay, let's bring in Chief Political Correspondent Vashi Kapelas, who, as we said, spoke with Minister Hodgson today. Vashi, the Prime Minister, as we know, has been getting heat for not moving quickly enough on either a trade deal or these nation-building projects. So now that there's a timeline for this first one, the suggestion of a timeline, what does it say about Mark Carney's priorities going forward?
Well, Sandy, it tells me two things. The first is that it's really a tacit
re-acknowledgement that Trump is wholly unpredictable. And if we are seeking as a country economic certainty of any kind, it probably won't come through a deal with Trump, and instead has to come via a focus on the domestic economic agenda, one of growth. The second thing, though, that strikes me from a political perspective in what Minister Hodgins said and what Rachel referenced is that it appears that this government is willing to discard with major environmental policies, perhaps even climate change targets of the Trudeau government on a case-by-case basis to get these projects moving ahead. Now, that does not mean that they're going to rescind the policies on the whole, but they are willing to do so on a case-by-case basis, and how that plays politically, at this point, I don't know, but it's a big deal.
Okay, big deal. Okay, Vashi, good to know. There's also a new escalation in Canada's trade dispute with China, with canola farmers caught in the middle again. China has announced massive anti-dumping duties in retaliation for Canada's tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. CTV's Judy Trin is watching the markets. And Judy, what does this mean for farmers?
Sandy, these temporary duties will take effect on Thursday, but canola farmers are already feeling the squeeze as commodity prices fell 7%.
My farm is roughly half canola. So today is very devastating news, obviously, to me.
Andre Harp is one of 40,000 canola farmers in Canada who woke up to the news that China was imposing a 75.8% duty on the oilseed. Canola prices dropped $1 a bushel after the anti-dumping tariff was announced. More bad news for an industry contending with drought just weeks away from harvest.
Not only are we facing a yield loss, but at the same time, obviously now we're facing an income loss for whatever we do grow. So it's, right now this could be a double whammy.
In 2024, Canada exported $5 billion of canola to China. To justify its actions, China said that after conducting an investigation, it found that Canada was providing its farmers with unfair subsidies. This escalation has its roots in the former Liberal government's decision to impose tariffs on electric vehicles.
We will be introducing a 100% tariff on Chinese-made electric vehicles.
The previous government in Ottawa had done this to align its policy on China with that of Washington, but we didn't get any brownie points.
The canola industry generates more than $40 billion annually and employs 200,000 people. Saskatchewan's premier says that's bigger than the steel, aluminum, and auto industry combined.
Canola producers hit with these Chinese tariffs, I would say that they deserve the same attention by our federal government and our prime minister as we're seeing in other industries.
To improve Canada's trading relationship with China, Premier Mo says the prime minister needs to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping as soon as possible. Sandy.
Thanks, Judy. Coming up after the break, a warning to cell phone users.
Just be careful.
The text message that cost this woman thousands of dollars. We want to share the stories of two viewers who each had their bank accounts hacked, costing them big time after they clicked on a link on their cell phones. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
Just be careful.
Christina Petrozelli of Mississauga got a link that said she had to click on it to decline a purchase. Concerned she was being scammed, she did, but it led to her being hacked and her bank account being taken over.
I clicked decline, and I guess that's where the scam was, because me clicking decline was them having access to my account.
Petrozelli was scammed out of just over $22,000. Her bank is RBC, and she was shocked to be told because she had granted the scammers access to her account, she won't be reimbursed.
I have feelings, and I have people that rely on me, and you're taking everything that I had, and I didn't do it.
A spokesperson for RBC told CTV News, "We are unable to share details. However, RBC will never ask you to download a remote access application."
I clicked the link and I updated my information. And then the next thing you know, my phone stopped working.
Christy Seymour of Oshawa also clicked on a link she thought was updating her credit card. Her phone was hacked and scammers got into her account and stole almost $29,000. She had called Wealthsimple for 3 days to block her account, but couldn't get through.
That was all of the money I've saved my entire life, and it's just gone, and they're not taking any responsibility for their part of the problem.
Wealthsimple told Seymour, your account appears to have been accessed by an individual to whom you've authorized via a phishing scam.
They're getting more and more targeted, more personalized,
and more sophisticated.
Cybersecurity experts say everyone should be using dual-factor authentication to add another layer of protection and be cautious of all links you receive.
The three things that they're counting on are surprise, urgency, and that need to respond.
After CTV News contacted Wealthsimple, they reviewed Seymour's case and said, as a gesture of goodwill, we have reimbursed the losses she experienced while trying to contact our team. She was given a full refund of almost $29,000, which was great news for her. Pat Foran, CTV News.
After the break, a swift surprise. Music superstar Taylor Swift didn't take much of a break after her worldwide Eras tour, making a surprise announcement about her new album with the help of boyfriend Travis Kelce and his brother Jason on their podcast.
What do we got?
We got
a briefcase.
Yep.
Mint green with TS on it.
Yep.
What's in it?
This is my brand new album, The Life of a Showgirl. To show you something.
The Life of a Showgirl will be the Grammy winner's 12th studio album. No release date has been announced, but the website she has shows vinyl editions will ship before October the 13th. After the break, a late night show in the sky. It's time to look up to the night sky to see one of the best meteor showers of the year, with tonight and tomorrow offering peak viewing. CTV's Kathy Lee is here to tell us how best to catch a glimpse of this celestial phenomenon. Hi, Kathy.
Sandy, a dark area and clear sky. Those are the two criteria you'll need to see the Perseid meteor shower tonight. And for those who've already seen the sight, they're magnificent. It doesn't matter where you are across the country, the show is the same coast to coast. But whether you can see the streaks of light will depend on the weather. Areas where there is smoke from wildfires most likely won't see them. If there is cloud cover, that will block the view. And if the moon is too bright, that could make the meteors harder to spot.
If you can see stars, it's worth staying up. Just look up. You don't need to know any constellations. They will appear everywhere on the sky. We have meteor showers every month, but the Perseid meteor shower is by far the richest one with the most meteors.
The Perseids come from a comet called Swift-Tuttle. The comet's dust particles enter Earth's atmosphere and get scooped up by the planet and burned up.
It will be less than a second. These Perseids are quite fast. So they enter the atmosphere at the speed of 50 times the speed of a bullet.
The majority of the streaks of light are tiny, about the size of a grain of sand, and under perfect conditions, people can see up to 100 Perseids per hour. The celestial show is the same in every time zone, and the best time to watch is between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. Sandy.
All right, we'll be there. Thank you, Kathy. And thank you for sharing your time with us. I'm Sandy Ronaldo. Your local CTV News is coming up. We'll see you tomorrow, we hope. Bye for now.